Hello, I'm Natasha. Welcome back to the channel. And today I want to talk about the UK once again. I fear that the issues Britain faces are really quite substantial, and in today's video, I want to explain these. Obviously, we have the problem with illegal migration, which I think should constitute a national emergency. But we also have far too much legal migration. We have issues with the economy, rising debt, decline in the number of jobs, derelict high streets, high inflation, the highest energy costs in the world. And without the energy cost situation being resolved, I'm not really sure how the economy can grow. We actually need to reevaluate our dependence on the US, who does not have our best interests at heart. We have substituted cheap pipeline gas from Russia with expensive LNG imports from the US, and this is not in the best interests of the nation. We also seem to have just very poor financial management in place across the country. We have the situation where quite a number of councils in the UK are going bankrupt. Britain also has an unbelievably high debt level. The UK public sector net debt was 96.1% of GDP at the end of July 2025, totaling approximately £2.9 trillion. Over the years, we've also sold off a lot of British companies and British industries, so now have less jobs available for British people, as well as having lost the skills in those particular sectors. I do also think it's an issue that we have sold off key industries like the water industry to foreign hedge funds and pension funds who care more about profit than investing in the sector. Not only this, but personal debt levels in the UK are really quite significant. Total household debt in the UK now exceeds £2.2 trillion. I also think that we have quite far reaching social issues with our country. We have a fairly high consumption of antidepressants. In addition, apparently London and Bristol are the biggest coke consumers in Europe. Adding to this is the fact that British people are just not really that healthy. 64% of adults in 2022 were overweight, including 29% who were obese. We also, of course, have the issues with increasing levels of crime and have had some quite horrendous incidents recently, like the Huntington train attack. No wonder countries like Australia, France, New Zealand, the UAE, and Mexico have issued travel warnings for the UK due to concerns about rising crime levels. How can Britain address the wide and substantial issues that it faces? I think ultimately its leaders do need a bit of a reality check, actually. Yes, Britain was a leader in the Industrial Revolution and contributed massively across many fields. However, the UK is in a bad state in almost every way, and we really cannot base the country now on past historic achievements. We have to accept that we are not a key player in the world and haven't been for some time. We are not a resource rich country. We do not have a substantial army or influence. Both our foreign policy and the way we have led the country in the last 30 years or so has not been right. Iraq, Libya, Yugoslavia, now Ukraine, we have not been on the right side of history. We are no longer a great power, and it is now time for us to focus on our country and providing the best for the people of the country. A country where people at least feel safe on their own streets would be a good start. There needs to be a complete rethink on the economy, domestic policies, and foreign policy. Take the stones out of our own eyes before we criticise how other countries are run.